Wow. Fantastic. What a view. I actually need to do this because you should see this from my point of view. It's an amazing view. I'm going to do like this. Warm welcome to all of you. Welcome to the historic first ever Thailand Pitch Day. We are so proud to be here after first 1 year of discussions and then another year of planning, and we're finally here. It almost feels surreal. And to see all of you in the room, I see a few of you are still standing up. Thanks for your cooperation. I think you will be able to have a seat in the back, so feel free to sit down. Sorry. So this is the first time we're doing this together with Thailand. And we have a jam-packed schedule for the day. We're going to have a just short intro and welcome to everyone. We're going to give you the opportunity, and when I say you, I mean all of you, to pick the brains from bespoke investors and dare to ask the questions that you would not be able to do in a pitching type of situation where you have a dependence on wanting their money. In this case, they are on your side, so you can actually ask all the questions you would not dare to ask. So we're going to do that for a while, open up for questions for you as well. And then just after 10, we'll do the pitching, where we have 11 fantastic and inspirational teams from Thailand that will take the stage. We'll do some summary, and then we'll move outside into the atrium here and enjoy lunch, and not any random lunch, some of the best food from Thailand, of course. If you don't know who I am, this is me. I'm Jack. And this is how young and naive I once was back in the day, some 25 years ago, when I first launched, when I launched the first venture. And this is what happens 25 years later of building companies. It's not a straight road from A to B. I've been fortunate to be a part of starting and running 6 companies. Some of them failed miserably, but some of them turned out to be pretty good. But if I have to choose, the ones that we learned the most from is for sure the failures. And the last thing I've been a part of building and being blessed to be doing for the last 6 to 8 years is actually Accelerate, together with a few friends. One of them is sitting right here, but he was also young and naive once back in the days. And I see that approximately half of you that actually knows that Gary can't even see that it's him, but I promise you it's him. And he's also been a little bit older and better. Instead of calling him older, we're calling him wiser. Epicenter Stockholm, I know there's a few of you that's here for the first time. So just in short, at Epicenter Stockholm, welcome. Where nothing is business as usual. We take pride of challenging the status quo. We're building an ecosystem, combining the big, the small, the fast, and combining their knowledge into what we call creating innovation with impact. And one of the innovations that we've been doing is actually building Epicenter, and now growing even more into our sister concept, which is actually elements, which is why we're here at elements. If we focus slightly more on innovation at Epicenter, we'll focus on the biggest challenges around topical driven. What happens when AI paradigm shifts the entire world as we used to know it? Climate change, sustainability. So we're very, very, very aligned in everything that we do, but we separate ourselves a little bit into two different concepts. I'm not going to bore you with too much things, but we actually been doing this for quite a while. It actually started already back in 1999 with the mother company of Epicenter called Result, which Edgar was one of the original founders of. Today's our chairman. And a big part of what we do within advisory. So please stand up, Edgar. So we're going to give you a warm applause. Now you see it was not AI that tweaked the picture. We have a lot of member companies, like 550 member companies, something like that. If you're curious about that or more information about Epicenter, I'll be here all day, Edgar will be here all day, and a few other of our colleagues. So just reach out to us. As I said, we've been running global accelerate programs for quite a while now. And we couldn't be more proud to add our latest edition, supported by a fantastic group of stakeholders, making this project possible. So we cannot underline it enough how thankful we are to the Royal Thai Embassy, the PMU-C, National Innovation Agency, Thai Startup Association, and Techsauce, TNIU as well, and our friends at Business Sweden, always supporting what we do, including the Embassy of Stockholm, Embassy of Sweden in Bangkok. Speaking of nationalities, we checked the list. We think there are approximately 20+-ish nationalities just in the room. So when we talk about innovation with impact, we mean that for sure, for real, global. And if we add the ones online, I'm not really sure exactly how many we are. Take a screen dump, Eugenie, if you can, so we can count that too. Our mission is to create innovation with impact for startups, scale-ups, and corporates to grow and innovate together. Innovation and impact. It sure is not only me or Edgar. We have a bunch of fantastic teams. So beyond ourselves, we have Eugenie in the very center of everything, keeping all the dots together. On the back end, you haven't been able to see her as much that because she's deep dived into Excel sheets and calendar invites and making sure that everyone knows where to be, when to be, and how to be. Thank you very much, Eugenie. Thanks to our super dedicated coaches, beyond myself and Edgar, we have a number of fantastic individuals that we handpicked to support the startups from the cohort. So thank you, Ingrid, one of the most highly respected AI gurus that we have in our nation. Ingrid af Sandeberg, also not only coaching teams here, also chairman of Stockholm AI. We have Jens, my dear friend. He was a part of building my first venture 25 years ago. Thanks for putting up with me, Jens, and for all the work that you've been doing. We have Hanna Linderstål, truly the superstar of cybersecurity and warfare, and everything connected to that. And if you don't believe me,
please say cyber warfare. Otherwise, it sounds like I'm producing guns.
Cyber warfare, absolutely. Sorry for the verbal typo. And if you don't believe me when I say that she's a superstar, you can just tune in any random news morning so far weekly to get updates on what's going on in the Russian and Ukrainian territory. She works closely with governments and also together with the United Nations. and is a part of supporting our teams here as well. And last but certainly not least, Colin, not any random coach, actually a coach that also been coaching Olympic teams. So he also knows what he's doing because he's scaled a couple of companies. So thanks a lot, guys. And more people, I have to just mention a few. Mo and Vera, you're always delivering dynamite to us, making sure that we're seen and social media context and documenting everything in a very professional way. And our own Lucas, ahead of everything that should be working here technology-wise. So thank you. I could not do this without you, that's for sure. In short, what's Accelerate? What could anyone participating expect? Well, this is actually our value proposition for all participating teams. Get clarity on business goals, get new perspectives, access to networks, help to set the right organizational structure, and ultimately support to scale faster. We started this already last year in August, and now we're here. That's a marathon in 100-meter pace. We've been talking about a lot of things. And not all teams have done all modules. We've been picking the ones that would be most relevant to each team. Because when we build these programs, it's not one size fits all. But when we have 11 teams here, it's not one program, 11 participants. It's 11 programs with a mutual start and end date and a few mutual components in the middle, like cultural differences, etc. We take pride in really tailoring the content. And why do we do this? Well, there's no saying, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So even though we've actually been a part of opening a few doors who are relevant to stakeholders, partners, potential customers, etc., a lot of the business meetings that they've had they've actually done by themselves, supported by us, but it's their job to do. Next time they're entering new markets, maybe me and Edgar and the other coaches won't be there, so they have to do it themselves. With that said, that little intro, it's time to pick the brains out of our brilliant panel of investors for the funding secrets section. So let's make it a little bit cozy. Oh, sorry, before we make it cozy, let me introduce you to the investors. And let's start with Lynn Veigar. Welcome. Lynn, if you haven't done your homework, is a very, very successful entrepreneur. He built and scaled businesses with the connections to Asia, for sure. And now also an angel investor. You know what it takes. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Then we have Arda, also an investor, but a little bit more from the VC side. He's been a vital part previously. Now he's doing new things, but previously at BioWit, one of the VCs actually also investing in Epicenter. So clearly they have great taste. No. Thank you very much for joining us, Arda. And last but certainly not least, Daniel Tabopsi, the founder and former CEO of one of the biggest crowdfunding platforms in Europe, all funded by me. I think I can maybe just go out and say it. Don't fact check because there's no official stat. But I'd say you're probably the most active angel investor in Swedish history. How many investors do you have personally? Maybe 200?
Oh yeah, but for a while I was the most active in Stockholm. Yeah, no, but it's a lot of small investments in a lot of companies. But I think 200 plus.
Yeah. Warm welcome, Daniel. So it's time to ask some questions, and I'll start. Let's make it cozy.
Yeah, sorry.
I know it's not winter time, but still. Let's go see. I'll start to get the conversation going, but then I also for sure want you guys to dare to raise your hand and ask questions. And we're going to try to touch base on all the do's and don'ts of fundraising. First of all, how many of you in this room fundraising? Approximately a third, I'd say. How many of you are raising funds right now? Maybe a fourth. Cool. There's so many things. When to raise, what to raise, how to raise, etc. So if we just start with you, Yin. What would you say? I think this is actually on. Yeah, what would you say? When is the right time for any startup to raise funds?
Yeah, I think it's a question that I don't think it has one specific answer really. When we started our business, we thought of raising money in the beginning, and now 8 years down the road, we have still have not done it. So it's not specific answer to when it's time. But in order to grow fast, and if everything goes down, what kind of result or what your vision is for the business, if you're able to grow it with the capacity that you have, then you can wait. But if in order to accelerate faster, so it absolutely depends on what kind of strategy. So Jack, I'm sorry, I can't give you an absolute answer to that.
Are you also a politician on the side?
Yes.
Cool. Ardavan, what's your take on amounts? How much money should you raise? And maybe take an example if you're early, slightly later, and okay.
Well, I think I'll start with maybe answering the previous question first, and then elaborate on how much. I would say I have a bit more specific answer, and from my perspective, as long as you don't have to raise, don't do that. Use all the leverages that you have, use all the resources that you have, get into attraction, and then go to the investors when you have something that is very tangible to actually sell. But how much? Again, from my perspective, you have to raise as little as possible. That is because, you have to, if you have something very worth to sell, just keep that.
Great. Please feel free to reflect on that and comment, but maybe also add a little bit thoughts on valuation. How would you do that?
Yeah, very good question. I think I actually agree with both and not at the same time. So I'm also a politician. If you look at fundraising as a game, I need cash to take the leap. Then of course you need to do it when the right times. But I think fundraising is not about money. It's about building your networks, about shaking trees, about letting the right people know that you are doing something interesting. Letting them follow you. There's a really beautiful story in Stockholm where Creative, one of the early Spotify investors, they shared how quick they moved on Spotify once they made a decision. That was 18 months. And that was a quick move. So just imagine if you're a startup and you need funding tomorrow, how much time you need to spend just to get to the point zero where you start knocking on the right doors. So I would say, I think fundraising is unfortunately part of the entrepreneurial cycle. Even if you don't need money, I totally agree with Lynn is that if you don't need money, you never raise. Why would you? Why would you give parts of your baby away? But on the other hand, money never comes in your account done. It comes with a team of people who are knowledgeable. It comes with networks. It comes with the next leap. So I think if you stick to the mindset about fundraising and see it as a way to tighten your pitch or get the right networks or the right eyes on your product, then you should do it every day as part of your work as CEO or founder. And I agree with you on the amounts. I think you should never raise more than you need because that only puts pressure on you. And then if you raise more than you need, then you need to give away two big parts of the company. On the other hand, I can tell you saying you shouldn't raise more than you need, that's utopian. There's no company in the world who wouldn't raise more than they need. Because the fact is that every company in the world, if you get $1 billion in your account, you actually can take quite healthy and nice sleeps. Most entrepreneurs are frustrated because they can't move fast enough. Even Elon Musk, I would say, or OpenAI, they're also still raising funds. So I'm agreeing with you both and not at the same time.
I mean, speaking of it, we often talk about the position you want to be as a startup founder or scale-up founder is that you should raise money when you don't need it, because then the leverage is on your side. People are actually almost begging you to join their journey rather than having the knife on the throat and say, please, we need it, otherwise we won't survive.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky balance.
Yeah,
To raise enough or do it when you don't need it versus not getting diluted too much at a too early stage. So it surely is a balance.
Yeah, I agree with you. And of course, some bad investors, the first question they ask you is, how much burn rate do you have left? And you say, I have 3 more months. They say, let's wait 3 more months because they want to follow you. They want to monitor whatever, right? And then in 3 more months, you become a lot more panicky and you make worse decisions. So definitely, Jack, I think the saying that raise when you don't need, that's the best thing ever.
At least if you know that you actually plan to raise later on.
But I think Lynn's strategy is the best one. Build something so also that people come to you, so you don't have to spend time to knock on doors. It's better than the investors courting you instead of the opposite.
So conclusion is, it's really simple to raise funds. Just build something really, really great that everyone wants.
Yeah, without
How hard can it be? How hard can it be?
Yeah, but I also want to add one thing. When if I go back to when we started the company 8 years ago, we were thinking we actually need money to grow. But that was also some form of mindset. If we are starting to think about that, we didn't think about growing the product. So it's also a matter of like mindset and the drive, and then the drive was to get money. And the idea that we had from the beginning is just something else that we have today when we are more mature and we know what road to have ahead of us. So basically, I think it shouldn't be before the idea is 100% ready and you have the first client, you know what road to take on. So for me, that was a lesson that we wait a little bit and really dig into the product, get to know everything aspect of the road that we're having, to take another road that we choose from start, and then looked into what kind of necessary advice and financial solution do we actually need. And now 8 years on the road, me in that position again. That's okay, now maybe you're ready. But I think to dive into the product and be totally sure that that the business is on that path that you want it to be at first.
Thanks, guys. Shifting focus a little bit to the type of funding that you can actually aim to raise. We have a difference for sure between raising funds from angel investors, VCs, CVCs, lingual corporate venture capital firms. And the main difference would, of course, be that angels invest their own money and VCs invest other people's money. So they need to look at cases in different ways. And a CVC would probably look at an investment not from a financial perspective, from a more strategic industrial perspective. What's your take on these 3 main categories of investors? Where to start and which is typical for different type of stages? Who wants to go first?
Maybe I can actually elaborate on the VC parts, and you have to actually do a bit of due diligence on what type of VC based on the stage that your company and your product and other things are actually linked to. Some of the VCs are like investing in very early stage, perhaps traditionally pre-product market fit, because they are investing on good entrepreneurs and founders. But some VCs are only focusing on growth investment, and that is basically when you have traction with your go-to-market fit, and then you have sold and proved that your product and service has a fit within the market, and that money goes into the investment. So it really depends on which stage the company at, and then what is the niche and specific focus of that type of investor. So most VCs, At the same time, if they're growth investors, they want to actually invest in your growth journey. Most product market fit, and then you're going to actually spend that money expanding your margins.
Thanks. Anyone else want to
Yeah, I think
add something?
yeah, I agree with you. I think it's all depending on what your company needs. Sometimes one angel can be, the best investor you have, and you don't need anything else. If the angel is, big enough, it can follow you in several rounds. I think what I'm going to touch on, Jack, is the opposite to psychology. I think most startup entrepreneurs or all entrepreneurs, they think that I need money. I hope somebody wants to join me. But I think that on the other side, all investors are looking for opportunities too. So they are, I would say, as desperate, but I would say, yes, an investor is as desperate as a startup to make that deal. On the other hand, any VC, any angel has roughly 500 to 1,000 deals on their table each year if they are, available online, live, accessible, which of course creates a culture of finding problems, finding the no's. So I think timing is when you can answer the no's, either with a good answer, this is our strategy onwards, or with a good product that already works. So I think depending on who you ask, it's also where your company is. But never forget the fact that people are actually looking to invest in you guys, because it's a very one-sided insidious way of doing business, while it actually takes two to tango.
For sure, and it's not businesses that makes companies that makes business. It's actually people and relations.
Yes.
And when you're bringing on investors, it doesn't really matter if it's PlayStation angels or VCs. If you're gonna, stick with them for a while, it's almost like a marriage. You should look upon an investor in the same way that you would look upon a co-founder.
Yeah.
You're building something together over time, not just please give me it. Otherwise, you can loan money if you don't need the relation. Do you have anything you wanted to add? Or otherwise, please do. Otherwise, I figure we'll open up for questions from the audience. You look like a curious group of people. Do we have any questions? I have thousands of questions. Do you have any questions that you want to take the opportunity to ask our panel of investors? Don't be Swedish. Come on. I'm sure you have stuff on your mind, right?
I'll go on. What do you look for when you invest?
What do you look for when you invest for your own money if you didn't hear it?
For me, what the panel already said here is the person, and it likewise, we need to like each other. For me, that's the absolute most important thing, because a good idea can't run by itself. It needs to have a perfect, a good match with me on a personal level, and also a communication base that we have the same feeling for each other. So for me, that's the most important thing. And secondly, it's so it's respect to both sides, I would say, because when it comes to valuation with someone, I like the way, because I've been on the entrepreneur side, you know how it is to grow your own baby, and for you the valuation is really high and you have done everything in your power, and then someone says that the valuation for them is not equal, and it's a conflict there, and it needs to match, because otherwise it can be a problem as well. So I think the valuation also needs to, it's a problem sometimes that it doesn't really dig into what you're feeling about yourself growing it, and actually what other valuation. So respect for both sides, that needs to work. So.
Like I brought up, we're investor friend of ours, he actually said that I don't really care where the bus is going as long as I love the bus driver.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
We'll end up in a good place.
Yeah, and I can add that it's like you get proven if you live longer, if you have people around you that you like, and they like you back.
Yeah.
So you live longer, and that must be the end result of everything. You want to be around people that you like, and likewise. So it's not one-sided.
More questions from the crowd.
Yes.
You woke up.
I wonder if you are maybe you're aiming for a specific amount of money to raise. Do you think this is the amount of money in your budget, your plan? Would it be okay to just raise a third of that, or should should the entrepreneur always, aim for the big amount of money? Or would it be okay to raise just a little bit and see where it goes?
We're getting a question from the audience here. If it's okay to raise less than you initially planned, and if it's okay to accept a smaller amount.
So I think this is very simple. The question says that if a third is enough, then it is enough, but sometimes it's not. So I can give an example. I've been doing web page startups for 10 years. You don't need quite more than 1 million to get off and really get off. But now I'm chairman of an electric vehicle startup. We need at least $250 million just to start the factory, right? Which means that even if you have 50 million, it's not enough. So you shouldn't then take that because you can't take the lead. Unless the angels or the investors understand that, they're paying for the path to that big round. You need to do, as Jack said, you need to do a lot of things before you get the big funding. So I think either you realize, what's the minimum amount to actually take that leap, and if you're in production and need an actual chunk, or you figure out the steps, and then, that's basically your plan, is that, I can take the company up to point B with this funding, and then to point C with this funding, and then that in itself becomes a plan. And I think most investors love that because I would also say that in addition, even if you get a full amount from an investor or VC, you will not just get that into your account anyway. You will get that trickle down on milestones, which you have to reach anyway, which means in addition, somebody might have promised you a big chunk, but they still won't transact more than the step you need at that point. I think something that a lot of us feel right now is that the investor climate has frozen a bit, so the amounts are not there anymore. So a lot of people are thinking, okay, what can I do with less money? Is this even viable? Is this even a wise strategy? And I would say, yes, progress is progress is progress. And most investors want to see that you've done leaps and miracles with zero little funding. I would say that goes back to what we all said, is that if the people are hungry enough and driven enough and they can make miracles with very little, they then become investable in a strange way.
Yes, for sure. Time's running fast when you're having fun, but we make time for a few more questions because this is important, of course. Do we have more questions? The gentleman over there. Hi, Philip.
We can always find some more questions. Maybe you guys could share a little bit, like, what kind of red flags do you see from all the investments you've done? Like, there's always the usual suspects, but your own experience, what red flags have you noticed that now you're just like, no.
The question is, what red flags should investors look for?
And are you talking about the founders, or the company?
I mean, that's up to you.
Right. So basically, the red flag is actually the founders and the entrepreneurs behind. If in the case that you check out and review the plan that they had and they haven't delivered, you look at that they cannot actually deliver and execute the quality that discussed and they're supposed to deliver. In the execution quality, that is one of the most important things.
I'm going to add one thing here. We've talked about it with a couple of the teams as well. Keep track on a detailed level of your cap table. If it's messy or blurry, no one will actually invest. It needs to be super clear. Who's the existing owners? The shares in between? Are there co-ownership, and that one owns that one, that owns that one, that also owns that back, and it gets messy. Keep a very clean and tidy cap table. That will help you.
Yeah.
We have a question from Hannah and then Albert, and then we'll see if we have time for one more.
Okay, I gotta be quick. I do understand it. When you see potential in market growth, it's easy to make an idea. Okay, I'm gonna invest in this. But how do you evaluate? The uniqueness of the idea and the strength of the team.
How do you validate strengths of team and the idea in itself in a market situation?
And it's of course not too easy. And I think time, for me, it's important to spend time with those people, and also what you say, how you can quite easily see, is there any problematic relationship behind it, because like I think maybe more, you maybe know more of it, but a lot of companies that doesn't work and can't grow is because they have problematic things between them. And all companies are quite good in the beginning. You're so excited, and then it's always run to one problem, 2, 3, 4, and then it's harder to keep that good relationship. So I think spend time and really get to know each other. It's important for me.
Small addition from Daniel.
So I love the word unique. I don't think anything is unique, especially not in corporate or business. I think, most ideas, most companies start out of somebody seeing a problem and wanting to solve that. And I was starting to think, is there any unique idea ever come in isolation? Maybe the fire, but everything else is, people reacting to a problem, trying to fix that. And I think we have a saying, I don't know if Jack told you, but if you have a good idea, there's 100 people doing the same thing as you right now. And if you have a great idea, there's 1,000 people doing the same. So have that in mind. So I think, going back is everything is to execution, and for me, red flags or, uniqueness is truthfulness, somebody who keeps their promise, they keep their timelines, they do that well. But then we have, of course, a cultural problem, right? Like in Sweden and in Thailand, we say what we mean and we over-deliver. Am I right? Well, if you go to the US and you pitch in the same way, they will not invest in you because they assume that every pitch is exaggerated. They assume that is part of the cultural setting. So I think this is also important. Who are you pitching to? Because I've done that many, many times. I go to New York or I go to Switzerland or wherever, right? And I pitch in the Swedish way, under promise, over deliver. And they're like, oh, well, you're not going to be huge. Like, I just told you I'm going to be huge. They take everything I say with half, right? So have that in mind also. Yeah.
Also remember, when it comes to uniqueness, no one else has done this. So we have no competition. Really, really hard. Maybe there's a reason that no one did it. And also it's really, really hard to, successfully, build a foundation of new behaviors and new ways of doing things. That takes time and it's really, really costly. Albert, you had a question. I think it's going to have to be our last, but the conversation can continue over lunch as well, of course.
So looking for investment, I do understand getting the money, right? But there's so much more that is put on the table choosing the VC. So as an entrepreneur, how should I choose wisely what kind of investors I will get?
Love the question. We talk not enough about this. The question is, how do I choose investors? It's a thing we don't talk enough about. I'd say to every startup is that they will do, full-blown due diligence on any startup before they invest. You should do that too. Not only look at their websites, these are the industries that they normally invest, or these are the stages and they're experts in this. That's blurry web marketing. Anyone can put up a website. And not only believe them in their PowerPoints and in meetings, you should for sure check with 5, 10, 20 of their portfolio companies. What type of investors are they? And not only when things are great. When things are great, anyone can be a great investor. It's bubbles and it's happy times. What happens when the shit hits the fan? What type of investor are they then? Are they suddenly not so friendly and just, on your back, constantly demanding reports and shifting focus from supporting you to just demanding stuff to protect their own? That's what must be one of the most critical things for a startup to do.
Talk to the founders of their existing portfolio companies. That's something that you should definitely do. And as you said, definitely do the same due diligence that they do on your company. But I think one other fact is that just see if they have created companies and worked as within operation before. So.
Absolutely. In theory and doing things yourself is two different things.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't fit that you, and then there are also other solutions. For in our example, for example, we actually went for loans instead. It's more expensive, and the bank didn't reach what we needed at all. They didn't grow with us. We needed to find other solutions. But loan was expensive, but we kept the shares. So if it's not feeling 100% fit, then there are other solutions that might be expensive in the short run, but not in the long run.
Final comment from Daniel.
Yeah, once again, I'm going to shift the focus on the entrepreneur. I think, don't be desperate. I think is the key. If you make sure that you're not desperate, if you're desperate, you're going to accept that investor. Even if they are, psychopaths, you will do that because you're desperate. You have, $1 million burn a month and you have staff and you have obligations, you borrowed on your house, you have to do it. So don't be, never put yourself in that position. And once again, if you put yourself in the opposite of desperate, which is attractive, then the right species will knock on your door and they will work their ass off to convince you that they are the right ones. Definitely do your due diligence. You do that on so many things in life, that too. And then also, I think it goes back to what Glenn or Jack said before, is even on a huge transaction, it's always on a personal level. You need to like those people. You need to be able to work with them. At the end of the day, yes, investors are important, but entrepreneurs are a lot more important. And an investor joins the journey and the hard work of an entrepreneur with the leverage which money brings. On the other side, the hard work is done by the entrepreneur. Usually, at least 90% of it. The VC and the investor doesn't work too. So that's my, key takeaway. Position yourself well. Yeah.
Thank you, dear investor friends. Let's continue the conversations over food later on if you have more questions or if you didn't dare to ask in public. Because it's actually time for pitches. I mean, that's a good example of how hard it is to build this. It's nothing ever works out exactly as you planned. We already lost 10 minutes in the first half hour. I don't know how that happened. So we're going to speed some things up. I'm going to ask you
I just need to apologize. I was late. It's been bugging me. I thought we were starting 9:45, so I was actually walking down outside and hearing my thoughts. So I'm not too rude. I want to apologize.
Not a pun intended.
No, yeah, but I've been thinking about that.
I'll ask you to just take your chairs and move a little bit on the side. See if you can get the table going with you so that you'll be a little bit more on. Yeah, some little space here for the pitching companies. Let's see if we can get things going. Normally we could plan for a small break here, but we skipped the break. It's time for pitches, and we're gonna have 11 fantastic companies to pitch. Hang on, there's some things going on over here. Okay, everyone, that was the shortest break ever. It's time for pitches. Before we move into the pitches, guys, before we move into the pitches, I would also like to take the opportunity to thank a few key people, not from my team, that are here. So please help me with a warm applause for Ms. Aruna, Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Thailand to Sweden. Also, General Director for National Innovation Agency. That's like the Vinova. And Bonset from PMU-C, where are you? I thought I saw you there. He's also a hero. He's also a hero. Coming all the way to visit us today. And for sure, this would not be a project without, a fighter and a winner. Natach Tamarun, also from the Royal Thai Embassy. He invested his heart and soul to make this happen. So we're eternally thankful for all your work. Noon and Pair, not to be forgotten.
Someone wants to get in.
Sneezing, so I had to go.
No, I didn't even know it was locked. So it's pitching time. We have a number of super cool startups. We're going to talk about water technology. We're going to talk about graphene manufacturing processes, injury prevention, supporting the musical industry. We're going to talk about 3D mapping and use astrology to become the best version of yourself. We're going to talk about AI for sure, and AI development, cybersecurity. We're going to talk about sustainability and green ways of building businesses. Speaking of green, we're going to talk about how you can actually create leather out of fruits. Teaser. We're going to talk about taxes, the foundation of making a country dynamic and economic stable. And we're going to talk about sex. Before we get started, quick note to all pitching teams. You have this clicker. You're going to have to point it in the direction of Lucas. I noticed that the hard way. You've been through a lot, all the pitching teams. You've been all alone in a dark and cold place on the other side of the world for a couple of weeks. Well, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. We initially planned for you to be here during winter time, and this would have been what you... Instead, we're not that cold right now. I've seen some of you in the parks. I think maybe someone even took a dip. I know someone was playing golf. It's a roller coaster of building companies, but it's also a roller coaster of being in a program like this. And you've been connected to the ecosystem. You've been doing businesses. Having meetings. This is just a few examples of what happened in the program that's been going on for months, but the last 2 weeks. We had welcome lunch. We had inspiration from one of our founders, Ola. We met with the Stadsbyggnadskontoret, whatever that would be named in English, on how Norra Djurgårdsstaden got created. We went for a fantastic dinner hosted by the Royal Thai Embassy. Thanks for your hospitality. We met with Carl von Linné in Humlegården. We met with hundreds and thousands of people at SIME last week, meeting, future dogs and showing off your products to all the visitors. We went to Ericsson to learn everything about how 5G technology is a part of our life, even when we don't know it. We went to the Node. Thank you, Ian. I thought I saw you here for hosting one of the teams. What an amazing experience that was, including looking and touching on the real version of Avicii Platinum Records. A few of us also went to Solna, a very, very good place in Stockholm, the northern suburb where fantastic football is played. I'm sure Vernon will not agree, but that's actually the truth. Just look at the table. And also a visit to one of the most bespoke unicorns of Sweden, King. And if you don't know what King is, it's not a royal thing. It's actually the creators behind Candy Crush, probably in 98% of your phones. We even had a field trip to a local tennis club and played for a while. And we had Mia here at Elements. So a lot of things happened. And you did business. A lot of conversations. We love that. So for me, for Edgar, and for everyone at Epicenter, you're heroes. You're superheroes. We're so proud of you, and we're so happy and blessed that we've gotten to know you, support you, but also learn from you and get inspired from you. You're a superhero. So a warm applause for all the team. Pitching time. And don't, guys, I'm talking to you now. Don't forget to have fun. The stage is yours. The room is yours. So, first out, a warm welcome to Mickey from iTAX.
All right. Very excited. Hey, Alan. My name is Minky. I'm a tax professor, CEO and founder of iTAX. iTAX was from my PhD research about 13 years ago with one simple belief. That is, we believe every taxpayer is the bureau of the country. So they need and deserve the tax that support them and make sense to them. But in reality, not every country has a simple tax system like in Sweden. So these taxpayers have to get through the pain on their own. So it looks like this. So it's just confusing, right? You doesn't even speak human language, even though you know Thai. Anyway, in fact, the revenue department knows it, and they are working so hard to improve it. It's improving, but still, it looks like it's not what we are looking for anyway. So that's why we introduced iTax to simplify everything about tax for every taxpayer. So we transform something like this into this. So with iTax, with intuitive and simple design, you don't need to know tax to do the tax anymore. You can do your tax calculation, personalize your tax planning, and find your tax saving items all then just in one place. So this is what we're doing, and it's free because we earn revenue from in-app purchase and also advertising. So and also we are the first and only of-your partner of the Thai Revenue Department. So you can go to our app and file your tax return right there. So this is incredible. To make you understand the landscape, in Thailand, we have 66 million people population, 40 million still working, but only 10 million filing their tax returns, and only 4 million of them actually reach their pockets and pay tax. But you know what? This is a very good news. About 100 million people are using our app. They are a third of the total addressable market are our users. So this is amazing. This is incredible, right? And with a 4.8 star rating, that means a lot to us because probably our users put their trust on us with probably the most important information in their lives. So, and not because they have to, but because they want to. And we are so proud. So we are here not really for fundraising. We are already cash flow positive, but we're looking for any comments or anything that would make our app even better, more advanced, and more intuitive. So my name is Mickey, and this is iTax. Thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch. Mickey, I forgot to say that we're on a time clock here. All the teams only have 3 minutes, but the alarm clock didn't go. So you were with a 12-second margin. Well done. It's actually amazing that you have like 1.3 million users. A third of everyone paying taxes is actually doing it through iTax. That's speak about innovation with impact. You're actually a foundation of the economy in Thailand. I'm sure that our panel of investors have 1 or 2 questions. So feel free to speak out. And I think that we're going to have to brotherly simply share the mic. The other one is broken.
Thank you so much for that presentation. And you did a fantastic job, and I love the idea. I'm just super excited just to hear about it. So the first thing is the market is Thailand, or are you in other markets as well? And what's the goal for that expansion?
Thank you for your question. So now we just focus in the Thai market for now. When I joined to this program, actually I'm thinking about expanding as overseas, but it seems like it's pretty hard because the tax law is very domestic. You gotta have like an expert in that country, so it's pretty hard. But after entering this program, I find another way to expand our business as well. That means to serve expats and digital nomads in Thailand instead, because they have like a big pain point about entering into the tax system in Thailand. So probably that's another way to expand our business domestically, but to the new sector.
Yeah, interesting. Taxes is, the one of the big things in the world. A lot of people try to solve. So congrats on doing so well so far. I was actually figuring out that, or thinking that, your product is not tax solutions. Tax solution is trust. And first of all, trust that, if I pay taxes, it makes sense because, as you say, 40 million don't pay taxes. There's a reason. They don't trust that the money goes to the right things, or they don't want to earn less. And then, of course, trust for you that your app is as good enough, because I think we heard in the US there's been some tax apps that gave you good data, and then eventually you got penalized by the government. So I think that sync that you're having with the government, that's huge. I think it's super important. But definitely it's a global pain point. I think most governments and countries wants to solve, so more people want and can, and it's easy and fun to pay taxes. And then on the other hand, there's a lot of people who would try to pay as little tax as possible. But in between is, the trust of knowing that the money is going to the right direction. I think that's a huge element in any country to solve.
I just wanted to actually ask that since there are 4 million still part of the market plan, then how can we basically expand and get to that market further?
All right. Thank you. This is hard because in Thailand we have half of our economy is informal economy. So it's pretty hard to bring those non-paying taxpayers, but should be potential taxpayers into the system. So probably that problems lie to the revenue department to work on it. But anyway, if they drive them into the system, we are here to serve them anyway. So it's about legal enforcement by the revenue department.
Great. Once again, a big round of applause for Nikki. We're amazed of the achievements that you've done so far.
Nikki, you have to show your T-shirt. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, please do. I love it. When we had a conversation with a dear friend of ours, an investor, and we talked about iTAX and probably 1.3 million users already, and he was like, I want to invest. Sorry, he's not looking for money. He's already got cash flow positive. So, but who knows what happens in the future? Okay, as I mentioned, as Salt and Pepper once sang, let's talk about sex. So it's with great pleasure I welcome up to the stage Taro, one of the founders and now also CEO of Thailand's first safe space for sexual health and sexual well-being. Welcome, Taro.
All right. Good morning. How was your sex life? Did you have a good orgasm? Here are the questions sexologists recommend you to think about and consult someone, especially when things doesn't go as planned. However, speaking about sex or discussing about this is not as straightforward, especially in conservative country, Thailand as an example. And this is why we are here today. My name is Taro, co-founder of How to Teach. We help people talk about sex easier. Essentially, we are the safe space for sexual health and well-being. He allows right now more than 90,000 users to consult with sexologists and doctors anonymously. As an ecosystem, we acquire users using our personalized content as well as self-taught. I will talk a bit more about that. We're making revenue from commissions from anonymous video call and Q&A chat with doctors and sexologists, clinic and hospital referral, and also the marketplace called Market Teach. Example of the self-talk, some things like we have surprise, penis measurement that 700 people use it on a weekly basis. Most of them for first timers, so they don't have to go randomly pick the size or pick the largest one out of shame. So we have something like period tracking, basically like 2.4 thousand people tracking on a weekly basis. And obviously these are opportunities for us to cross sales related products. Another sales toy is the online versions of Pillow Talk card. It's a deep talk card where we initiate, kickstart, intimate questions, want to know but don't want to ask. Something like, which position you don't like? What do you do the most? And this is actually a very good opportunity to related to the products that in Thailand, promoting condoms is one of the things that is prohibited. So we inside a very interesting related here. A bit more about market pitch. We have the sales kit that you can do tests on STI, HPV at home, get the results straight on the app. And we have all other, we are the top selling products that are available on top of the pitch. All this amazing thing would be possible with the amazing team. We have Dr. M, like the expert PhD in gynecologist, clinical sexologist, and instructor at top hospital in Thailand. Nopon and myself, we are a serial entrepreneur. I've been running a couple success business in the past, and also we are running on a venture builders, and I'm passionate to make this thing happen. We are here asking for partnership. If you have any interesting products, business, looking for the guy in the picture. If you have also as a tech platform, looking for platform licensing as well. So if you think our piece of tech could be helpful to any things, I come to the guy in the pictures. Lastly, for investment, always looking for investment in already profitable business. We have earned GMV about $500,000 SEK on a monthly basis. And yep, here we are. Let's join.
Thank you very, very much, Taro. Why do you look like half of the male crowd was starting to download the app when we talked about the cell toys there? Or was it just me? Who wants to go first?
I can go first. It's very structured presentation. As very much, I want to know like which product feature or which service actually has the most use or like time usage.
Type most to monetizations. If it's like most used is actually Pillow Talk, but if it's like time to monetization, it's actually in this measurement for now. Because that the reasons behind is that actually like we start like linking the features to sales. So right now we see that a lot of people using Pillow Talk. So we start having a little thing like a light bulb button and you can read more of this and be linked through the data products.
So what do you earn most from the product that you sell or the advice that you pay for, the advice that you get?
The advice, I mean, they're two different. So selling product, we get more margin. So basically, but right now, the larger chunks coming from the consult because that's where we started. And then we see like when we have the consult, like fixed commissions. So we cannot really grow that far cap to availabilities of the expert sales. So we introducing the marketplace and that actually margins are grown. The next step would be when we have all the data. Right now we are marketplace, so we know which one sells good. So once we have the right data, we start probably having our private labels, our own label. One of them that we're looking right now is eatable lubricants. So it sells a lot, sells really good. So we said, oh, interesting data, and then we start looking into making our own private label.
We have time for one last question.
You know, no question, just an applaud. I think this is extra special because you, of course, are working in a conservative environment and you know, a healthy sexual environment for females and men is very important. And, you know, that's one of the keys to a better society. So, you know, hats off for you and now doing so well. And I think I love the excitement of, you know, being fun, toy to, you know, penis measurements that leads to actually information. So I think keep that. I think the only thing that worries me is that you do everything. And that's, you know, that's a challenge. You have to, you know, it's like 5 startups in one startup. But the questions were exactly as you had, is that you're measuring everything and then eventually you will see what gives the best effect. And I love that you do that this early on. But hats off for what you're doing. I've seen the effect. We supported a company called Halal Speed Dating in Malaysia to make blind dating more accessible for the Muslim community, and that it was frowned upon first, but then eventually became a huge catalyst for change. So, you know, I think you're doing bigger work than just making money on a great product. So hats off to you.
Thanks for that, Daniel. I totally agree that, I mean, everything sexual service related tends to be, directly assumed that it's porn by men for men. And this is, I love the angle that you have. It's a safe space for sexual health and well-being. Also kind of confirmed from your audience that are mainly women, at least so far. So once again, important work. Thank you for your pitch. Powerful. I see there's a few friends in the back. Caroline, there's here. If you get tired of standing up, please join us in the front here. There's seats for everyone. Next up, we're moving from sex into music. The segue is probably pretty related. So it's with great pleasure I'll inviting Thara from my band, really changing the way that anyone can access live music in Thailand and maybe in new markets as well over time. So bring it up for Thara, my band.
Hi, so okay, let's get into it, shall we? My band has made live music fast, simple, and fully legal. We have connected clients with the top artists while handling copyrights, creating a risk-free experience for all types of events. My name is Thara Sintong. I'm a part of the business team at my band, and I'll be walking you through how my band has transformed Thailand music industry and where we're headed towards next. So, live music industry has faces three major issues. The booking of artists and securing of license are slow, complicated, and the process are fragmented. And the owner of those licenses got their copyrights violated on the daily basis. That leads to limited monetization options. They did not get the protection or the compensation that they rightfully deserve from their own creation. This is where my band comes in, with all-in-one platform for live music band bookings and also managing of music rights legally. We have over 1,500 artists and bands covering more than 10 million songs for event organizers to choose from. Whether it's a wedding events or global stages, we accommodate for all types of events you can come up with. And artists also gain a platform where they can manage the schedule, create playlists, issue license for us to manage, and grow professionally, all in one place. Since 2019, we have completed over 5,200 bookings, including major festivals in Southeast Asia and cultural events in Thailand Expo in Osaka, and also in our own Suvarnabhumi airports. We partner with more than 60 plus record labels and are proudly to be the first music copyright platform in Thailand. We earn 10 to 15% through booking commissions, licensing fees, and optional equipment rental, light, stage, and sound. And all of this service only starts at 100 USD, making all events at all scale ready to perform. In 2023, we have made over $1.6 million, and we are projected to be making over $2.9 million in 2026 with growing margins and scalable foundations. And we are headed towards a new future, offering AI smart matching for event organizers, white label platform for partners, and expansion into Southeast Asian and Nordic markets. And to make all of this happen, we're only asking for $1 million plus 15% equity at premium evaluation of $6.5 million. Also welcome partnership and supports. This is the driving team at my band, and we are ready. The market is growing, and we are so excited to create a live music environment that is safe, secure, fair, and borderless. Thank you, and I'm open to all of your questions.
Thanks a bunch, Thara. That was amazing. Even I have seen it before. I'm not surprised.
Super interesting. Yes, absolutely. Great presentation. Super interesting concept. Definitely, it's a problem within the industry. I have actually two questions. First, are you on plan with your 2025 numbers in terms of 1.8 million? And also the second question is about your product and service that if a breach of contract happened either for the bookers or the artists, will you offer that type of legal services as well?
So we are on plan to raise the 1 million USD. It will really expands the scales of events that we can take on, which translates to more revenue and more names for ourselves.
And quick thought, I think the question was on your traction for revenue, your estimate for this year is 1.9 or something. Are you on track for the year on revenue?
Oh, yeah, we are on track for that. And if we can manage to get the fund, it will be even bigger.
And the question was like, I mean, if a breach of contract happens from the bookers or the artist, I mean, will you offer other services to the other side?
If the breaches of the contracts, we offer backup services for the event organizers that make sure that there will be definitely an artist that will going to be performed. And regarding the artist, we also find a venue for them to perform. We actually give them more exposure so that, more eyes will be on them and they can have a place where they can gain more revenue and income.
And I was just wondering something in the same line is transactions. Are you the ones dealing with the transactions, so you hold the money? Or do you have a third-party user work for it? So assuming let's say 1,000 people buy 1,000 tickets, are you the ones both, as you say, responsible, but also holding the funds? Or are you using a third party for that?
We are partnering with the tickets company to manage all the tickets for us. We're mostly in the event organizer section where we provide stage, sound, and artists to perform. Yeah. Thank you.
You have a question in or you're done?
Yeah.
But fantastic. Thank you very much. It's exciting to run accelerate programs for Thai startups, as you can see. From Sex and Music, we're gonna actually pivot a little bit more to some of the things that are really, really important to save the planet, the climate change. It's with great pleasure I'm going to welcome the Cero Global team, today represented by Patria, based in Stockholm, already grown into Sweden. So Patria will be doing pitches, and founder and CEO Sakayong is also with us online for the Q&A. So without further ado, welcome Patria. And don't forget to point it in Lucas' direction.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Patria Fluvin, and I'm here to introduce you to Cero Global, our patented fintech platform that transforms your customer sustainable purchase into verified carbon credit instantly with our fragmented carbon credit technology. If you are investing in green products and services, you already know the challenges. Proving impact, gaining adoption, and also building royalty that lasts. And that's exactly where Cero comes in. With our fragmented carbon credit technology, we can track low carbon purchases into verified carbon credit instantly on the global standard and AI blockchain. With this, we can say like Cero is as an always on ESG verifier, but 1,000 times faster and more affordable. Essentially, we provide solid proof that purchase that all the purchase from your green products and services earns verified carbon credit. And this is, oops, and showing customer this is the right choice to buy. In Thailand, for instance, we help our partner to grow and boost that customer engagement by 200 times within 1 year. We are already growing. We are going to Japan. We already done it. This is our partner in EU and in UK. We are not a typical loyalty program that create corporate debts, but we generate an asset to your business. We reduce customer acquisition costs by half with the better customer engagement. And on top of that, as the bonus, your business make the world in a better place. We have a very strong team in Thailand. Our founder is invented, and he's from MIT. Well crafted by our CTO. He is a PhD from Oxford University. You know what? They are smart. They already hired me here. Yes, I'm here based in Stockholm, and I will support your business to go through all the processes. We are growing, and our ambitious goal is 10 times within 5 years. I believe that in Sweden, as a leading sustainability country, we can do it. Let's turn all the purchase of green products and services into verified carbon credit. Join us and be the first move in Sweden. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Priya, if you hand over the mic to the panel. I'm sure they have a question or two, and I'll Sakayong, let us know if you don't hear the question. I'll repeat it.
Thank you for the presentation, and indeed they are very wise to have you here. I think that's a really good decision. I would like to ask you about the client that you look for. How would you describe what would the perfect customer be?
If the Sakayong want to
Jack, can you hear me?
please
I cannot
turn on
hear
your
quite well.
Yes, but thanks for the question and answer at the beginning. Yes, we actually can add on both the B2B and B2C. And right now we are focused on the B2C.
Maybe I can fill in. The existing customers that you have the most biggest success cases with are banks and gasoline stations, right?
Exactly. That's our partner is the petrol company, is the biggest petrol company in Thailand and also in Japan.
Yeah, but let me ask. Let
Any
me
other
answer
question?
this question.
I think he's talking, but
We can't hear you, Sakayong, if you're talking.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
now.
Can you hear me?
yes.
We can.
Okay, all right. Actually, we can work with anyone who have the green innovation. It's like we easily to work with the gasoline station because they already have like a HVO hullet, right? Which is when that customer fill the gas, apparently they should get carbon credit, but the cost of verification is so high they cannot do that by transaction basis. But with blockchain and AI, we can generate the carbon credit, so that we so-called fragmented carbon credit by every receipt of the customer who fill the gas with HVO hullet. And then we just help our customer to collect this carbon credit that they already throw away back to the table. That's what we do.
Okay. Thanks, Sakayong. We have time for one more question.
My question is about your market segment, B2B versus B2C. Can you elaborate on which segment are you planning to invest and put more resources to expand on, and why is that?
Sakayong, which segment do you prefer to focus on? B2C
Yeah.
or B2B?
Actually, we focus on the sector that B2C sector who has the green innovation. It's like a HVO 100, right? And Tesco who have do dynamic pricing on the food, or anyone who have like a green solution, sustainability solution that want to capture, want to quantify the number of amount of carbon reduction that they can do. And sometimes if we have methodology is like gold standard back up on their solution, then we can claim carbon credit because we are the verifier, global verifier by ISO standards.
Okay, so and technically, I think that means that they are B2B2C, aiming for businesses. You're not doing direct business with consumers, but you're looking for companies that are actually talking directly to consumers.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
Time-wise, we need to move on. Thank you very much, Patria and Sakayong. If you have a B2C business and want to go greener, you know where to turn. Should I lower the volume here? I've done that now.
Super.
Okay, there we go, and there. Okay, it's fashion time, and I happen to know that we do have an anonymous Swedish fashion retailer in the building, even in the room. With that said, but also connected to climate change and making the world a better place, it's with great pride I invite Pat from Peel Labs to talk a little bit about the amazing things that you do in the leather industry.
Great, thank you.
There you go, and point to the best.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Pat. I'm with Peel Lab. At Peel Lab, we manufacture bio-based leather as an alternative to animal leather and synthetic leather. What I have here in my hand is a bag that is made with our leather. I want you to feel it. What do you think? It's nice, right? So physically, our leather look and feel almost the same as any available leather in the market, but there's a big difference. There's a difference in the environmental economics. And there's a big difference in the environmental impact, actually. There's a big difference in the economics for farmers. There's a big difference in the consumer experience. I want to tell you about the difference. This is our vision. First is to reduce food waste. Second is to prevent animal cruelty. Third is to reduce carbon emissions. And this is how we do it. We collect the pineapple leaves from farmers in Thailand. These leaves otherwise would get burned and create the air pollution. We extract the natural fiber from the leaves, mix it with natural components like natural rubber and plant oil to create the leather, the bio-based leather. About the animal leather. If you didn't know already, animal leather is one of the most unsustainable fashion material. Why? Because it consumes a lot of water. There's a lot of toxic chemicals involved in the process, in the tannery process, which contaminates the natural water resources. The reason we're in this market, because the market is huge. It's worth $400 billion. Do you know why it's huge? Because leather is with us. All of us have leather products. And you know that all of us, the decision that we make, what we choose to buy today can have a great impact in the future of our planet. So I want you to make the ethical choice. Here are some of our products that we have made for our customers. In the fashion industry, furniture industry, we've done interiors for hotels. These are some of our customers, Lexus, Red Bull, Modern Form. And this is our impact. So I'm here in Sweden. I'm not looking for investors. We are looking for connections to companies that are ready to differentiate, that are ready to product develop, using our bio-based leather and make a great change in the industry and make a great impact together. Thank you very much.
Well done on the timing. Thanks a lot. I love pineapples. I can't imagine how many potential wallets and bags I actually thrown away as garbage when I was done eating. I'm sure you have a couple of questions. Meanwhile, you grab the mic. I'm just saying there's more pineapple-ish type of leather products outside here. So everyone can look and feel. Arteman, you go first.
Very great initiatives and also like the list of the clients that you put up, like
Yes.
very, very promising. I would like to know that what was your customers' response to such a product as they're already using this?
Yeah, actually, our price is about 30% above the synthetic leather. It's still cheaper than the animal leathers, like cow leathers are imported like from some countries. Is luxury brands are still stuck to the animal leather. But some of our customers, they have more sustainable conscious. So they're willing to do the prototypes. Like the Lexus, we've done the boat seats for them in the boat. Actually, we've worked with automotive as well. We are doing ongoing testing with some of the automotive company in Japan. Also, and the fashion industry, we have some small brands in the US, in Japan, and also in China.
Thank you for a great presentation. I'm really impressed, and also I really liked the look at this. So thank you so much for that. I actually own a bag with a cactus. I told you before as well. So I'm really interested in these kinds of innovation. And in that case, the price was so much higher than this. So I think this is really good because that can be the problem. In Sweden here, we love everything about remake, secondhand, and those businesses are growing as crazy. But sometimes when you buy a remake or do something, the price is quite high. So I think this is a really good point of business for you that the price are this low. So when it comes to my cactus bag, the lifetime is shorter than leather. Can you elaborate about the lifetime of this kind of material?
In terms of performance, our leather can perform better than the animal leather actually, because the cow leather requires the treatment, oil treatment. The cow leather, it has a lot of oil and petroleum in it. But for us, there's no plastic, no petroleum oil. So we can use the bio-based polymer actually to increase the longevity and the durability of the material. And so I would say the price will go down as more demand. So that's why we're looking for sales. We're looking for more customers. We want more people to actually support us, and the price curve will definitely come down, just like solar panel. In 5 to 10 years, the price will come down in half possibly. And I think it would be, that we don't have to choose. It's like, why would you choose when it's something bio and something that is oil? You would choose this, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting because in many other industries, the greener choice is always the more expensive one, like white goods or ecological food, always expensive. This is actually the other way around. It's more cheap than real leather and also better. So it hopefully helps people to make the right choice.
Yeah. And
one quick question.
Yeah, but sometimes when you want to make this good alternative for the nature and yourself, the MOQ is so high, so you can't really start a business. What could you say about that? Because that was a problem in the case with this cactus company.
Actually, yes, the MOQ is not that high, actually, about 300 meters. But we do have stock. We have leather that we have produced for our customers, and we keep some extra stocks that can supply to smaller business. We have some good colors like beige, black, gray, green. You can check out the showcase out there. I have a table out there you can touch and feel the leather. Okay.
Thank you. Great. I'm still confused how this could be used to be a pineapple. I don't know how you do it. In the cow case, I can see it, but this, I don't know, magic, still a miracle. From saving the planet to saving our bodies from injuries, and very related to a topic close to my heart, sports in general and football in specific. So it's with great pleasure I welcome Team Steve Well and Tibrut that will be doing the pitch. So a warm welcome up on stage. Have fun. There we go. And pointed to that one.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. First of all, it is great to see you guys here today. My name is Tim Pan. I'm the CTO and material scientist at Statewell. And today I will tell you about our company. Have you ever wondered that why some athletes, no matter how hard they train, no matter how talented they are, they still cannot perform at their performance, at their best performance? And the main reason because of the injury. And the most common injury that happen to the athletes are joint and tendon injury. And it's not just in football. But this problem can occur in basketball, rugby, tennis, even the normal people like us. And this is the old way to prevent the injury using the lock tape. It has many steps to use and you have to know how to do it. It's normally done by the expert because if you've done it wrong, it can increase the risk to get the injured too. And imagine how sticky it is when you start peeling it off. You don't have to use it anymore. We are proud to present our product. The second skin, the new way to prevent the injury. With our product, you can spray the fiber from the solution, cover around the ankle, and it will wrap and support your ankle when you get injured. And you can also use it to protect your ankle from sprain injury too. With our product, it's easier to use than the tape in the market because you can just spray cover around the ankle and wait less than 30 seconds, and that's it. You can put on your socks and shoes and go to the football field. And our product is also good for the environment because it's made from biodegradable material, and it also has high impact resistance. And right now we focus in the Thailand market first, and then we will expand our product to the Europe and then go to the global sport market. For the business model, we can sell it in B2B and B2C market with both online and offline platform. And this is the example of our potential customer. That there are the several football clubs. And right now we are seeking $100,000 for 7% equity stake in our company to help us accelerate the development in the MVP product and to launch it in Thailand and in Europe market. Because right now we are in the testing with the William United, the leader in Thailand Premier League, and also in a dialogue with the Swedish football club, the Stockholm IF. And we would love to talk to another football club in Sweden too, maybe the AIK, that's still the leader in Swedish football league. Yes, and this is our strong team. We have material scientists, physical scientists, sports scientists, the orthopedic physician as well. And last but not least, at Statewell, we play without pay. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Tibrut. That was great. On time. I feel hard about
this product right away. I didn't know about such a product. But my key question is like, do you have a product market fit? And do you have like some kind of a clinic for the test result or something? How do you think that this product is viable and
okay. Yes, when we made the product, we have many tests, the mechanical trial test, and we also the isokinetic test in the hospital. Right. That we have tests and also compared to the tape that the traditional way. of the prevention. Yes.
Okay, then compared to the tape, like what was the result? Like
The result is similar result from the tape. Maybe in some condition, our plant is better than the tape.
Thank you for the presentation. Very interesting. I like the idea that it's also preventing what can happen instead of always act when it's already happened, as I have said, the product. And one question for the client. It's soccer trainer myself, and my son. Is this space for team, but you also said retailers. How would you elaborate with the client base? Because I think this is a really good retail product. And the question number 2, is it one product, or you plan for more, or is it more?
Yes, we right now we have this one product, but we can improve the solution. Maybe it will be in the case in an emergency case for the ambulance. Yes, and for the kind we can sell it maybe in the sport wellness center, in the collaboration with the football club, and let's say with the wholesale maybe in the shopping mall that has the sport mall something. Yes.
One more question. Yeah, just last question. So this is a cast which makes the ankle stiff.
Right now it's not a cast. It's like for the support.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's stiff. It's not flexible. Or
It can flexible. Not hard as the cast. You can move your ankle. Yes.
So I'm as you asking, is there other fields like for instance running? The running community is huge because I would assume that in the sports field, the decision to use tape or your product is made by the doctor or the team, right? Or the physician, that's your client, not the customer. While in the running community, everybody is an individual. Most are individuals. So you would have, if it works for the running community, you would have high traction on this community, I would assume. While on the football side, especially in the professional segment, I would assume it's almost a business to business take rather than a consumer issue. But super fascinating. Exactly as you said, if it can be proven that it works, then it's brilliant. And I love the idea that you think about the next step, ambulances and others. There's a lot of if there's a stiffness, there's always where somebody has an accident, you need to fix them, legs, necks, and others. So a quick solution without, doing stuff is definitely something that a lot of people will take. And especially in the US market where post-injury legal issues is a major thing. So if you can fixate necks and then post-accidents, that's a huge opportunity, I would think.
Thanks a bunch, Daniel. And for myself personally, it's not only really invested in the team colors here, it's actually also, you may not have forgotten, I'm really, really old. So the injury prevention part is actually fantastic. I break my ankles all the time, so if I can get some support there, fantastic. So with that said, great warm applause for Cifer and the PMU-C. And as you see, it's Jersey Friday, right? That's the following concept. That's negative. Well, it's time to move on to high-end technology. We are great to introduce you to Stockholm, also called Bob, from K2 Graphene X. It's your show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is CEO of K2 Graphene. I'm very excited to be here, Stockholm, the land of the Nobel Prize. We come from K2 Graphene and use the graphene by Nobel Prize method. What is the graphene? Graphene is an amazing material that stronger than steel 100 times and lighter than air. How can produce it? Graphene can produce from the pencil or we call the graphite. We use the old method we call Scotch tape. We tap the Scotch tape to the substrate 100 times. It's really consume for produce. But the problem, you cannot scale without losing quality. Now, K2 Graphene can solve this problem by the IP approved and we have already done with the machine. The opportunity of this method or machine, we have scaled up 100 times and without losing 1% losing is still high quality. Who will use this our product? We are looking for the medical device, energy storage, and space technology. Now we are in the Stockholm. We are looking for the customer. We are looking for the partner, also investor. Believe me, trust me. The material for nano winning, we can produce by scale up reality. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Siobhan. Scale your production with 100x and only drop the 1% in quality. Well, you had me at hello. I'm sure you have a few questions.
Yeah, great potentially, I think, in the graphene. Quite funny with two similar companies. So Thailand might be leading on graphene invention. Can you tell me a bit more about the patent, what the patent does, or what it allows you to do, and why that's a value for you, the patent?
For the point of the we are just for starting for the company from the researcher. We are have already done with the machine. We are looking for the client to use that big scale. But firstly, we send or we could give the sample of the graphene from our product to the researcher in Thailand, also in the small company. And we are looking for the big company like the SAP technology to use the material to go to the composite to prevent the pollutions. So EMI, the electronics to absorb that IR to next 6 generation of the airplane.
Thank you for the presentation. And what exactly are you looking for from Sweden? What would be the best partnership for you?
I'm looking for the partner for distribute our products, and I would like to have some cooperate with the big companies like SAP to make research together and have some. We are already have some 20 kilograms per month. I think it's enough for starting the products in this area.
I'm just curious about one thing. So maybe I'm stupid here, but graphene and carbon fiber, are they the same or is it different things?
Very totally different because graphene is a single layer.
Single layer, okay.
Yes.
And carbon fiber is overlaid. Okay, got it.
Yeah, single layer, 100% sure. We have already the product.
And the flexibility is the same as on layers.
It's more than we call it a single. The wonder valve one is very high.
And it's as light as carbon fiber?
It's better.
Better.
Yes.
So there's one company.
Okay, cool. Graphene is one of the most cool materials for sure. But we're out of time. So no matter how cool it is, we're going to have to take that conversation during lunch and move on to the next team pitching. Thank you very much.
That's why I thought that maybe it was like 5.
Yeah, we're gonna stay or maybe even go back to the topic of saving the world, making the world a better place from a climate perspective. And this time we're going to dive into the water part of the world. So with great pleasure, I invite the Unidrac team up on stage to present their product Octa. Pointing to Lucas. And keep the microphone close to your mouth.
Hi everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi everyone. Thank you for being here. Octa, our mission is to watch and protect the sea. The problems in our oceans are many, from rising global temperature to coral bleaching and mass coral death, to overfishing and lack of regulation, to the need for protect endangered marine life and marine pollution. Trying to solve all this problem is standing it's unrealistic. But before we can solve them, we must understand how serious they are. And that's why we created Dune, smart grid designed to observe this problem. It uses a high-resolution camera with AI on-board processing, and the data is sent wirelessly to the cloud, and the buoy can also communicating with each other. Dune is fully autonomous, powered by solar cells. At the top, it uses 360-degree camera to watch the surface of the sea. Underneath, it uses a high-resolution underwater camera and thermal imaging to observe this marine life. Dune top camera can detect trash, oil spill, and marine pollution. At the bottom, it detects marine animals, water turbidity, and coral bleaching. Here's an example from Thailand. We have detect dugong migration, coral bleaching, tourism activity, and fishing patterns. In Thailand, has a demand for 500 units, and we must make it on global scale. It is a life level of Dune. We are detecting coral bleaching and underwater marine animals and sending our data to real-time dashboard. We have two main customer segments. Early stage, our customer include government researchers and private sector group. On this scale, we will collect a large amount of data and we will offer a long-term data product. Each student year's price is $5,000. Excludes service subscription. And we're looking for 300,000 with 20% equity of it. And I'm not the Chief Marketing of Octa. Octa, we watch the sea.
Thank you very much. A few questions from the family.
So I think you mentioned that you have two different customer segments, but you emphasize on the government and the research. Is there two different, or is it one segment? Together. So, in terms of the government, like, I mean, what type of go-to-market or like what type of approach do you have to actually approach it?
So on this scale, we will collect the data of oil, and we can observe if they have a marine pollution, they have trash, and yeah.
Thank you so much. It sounds really interesting, and always seeing things like this, you get the feeling that people are idiots around the world that let this happen, that you need to have a product that fixes what other people destroyed. So I really like when I see ideas like this. So I'm impressed. So congratulations for that. And this is not my field, but I went to Naturhistoriska, which is a museum here, and they have a movie, and the name is like Watch the Sea or something like that. And they were out and they were actually watching the sea, and they felt like they have an iPhone or something digging. It felt like they're so far away from oil you can ever be. So I felt that there must be a need for this kind of product instead of having this super. It felt like something really not working well. So I understand I just been there like last week to watch this film. They have the cinema part. So therefore, I'm interested about how the competition looks like in this field. Do you have how is that? How is the competition for this kind of product?
The competition don't have camera. They have only sensing. And it's our company have only camera.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions?
No, I think it's fascinating.
Thanks,
I think,
one.
of course, as you as a company, your first goal is to fix their seats, right? Not to sell more items, but to fix the seats, you need to sell more movies, right? So, on your last slide, you mentioned, let's kickstart this. I love crowdfunding. I come from a crowdfunding segment, and I think definitely, there's millions of people out there who would fund buoys for you to put them into sea, because the data you collect is the power to be getting. And if that's a hurdle, to getting buoys in the sea, that's definitely I would recommend doing crowdfunding on each one. Now we're putting 10 here, now we're putting 2 here. And I think that creates a movement also in itself, because a lot of people want to solve these issues. And as you say, there's a lot of hardware already out there. So the big questions, of course, with good hardware, with data collected, with the governments awake, what's the next step? Because then it's still just people watching data. Data needs to lead to decisions. So the more buoys you put in the water, the better, right?
Thanks for that take, Daniel. You want to comment on it or no? Okay, so warm applause for. Thank you. As we happen to be in Stockholm, the capital of water, this is music to my ears. But enough about Stockholm right now, and more about Thailand. We're ready to connect you directly with Bangkok online, thanks to amazing technology of our global, whatever they would be called, streaming platform services, delivering amazing experience for everyone. So it's with great pleasure I welcome the team that unfortunately couldn't make it to Stockholm this time, but head up by founder and CEO Bank. It's time to give a warm applause to the Graffiti team solving 3D mapping with amazing technology. A warm applause. And over to you, Bank. Please share your screen whenever you're ready, and we will see this on our big screen.
I'm sharing my screen.
At least that's what Lucas told me. And now I see it on this screen.
Yes.
And now we see it. Wow, fantastic technology. So this is Bank, and whenever you're ready, Bank, you can start your pitch. I'll be tagging you, and then we'll do the questions afterwards.
Okay, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Bang from Graffiti. At Graffiti, we create the mapping and solve mapping problem. Nowadays, we get lost in the big department store, big airport, right? Because mapping is not accurate enough, and it doesn't work indoor for GPS, right? For new technology, we have the expensive sensor scan that most accurate, but the cost is a lot to scan and to build them. Yeah, like we saw on Google Maps. So with our Graffiti Vision AI, we can turn any smartphone capture to the accurate 3D mapping, which can be any smartphone, any brand. Yeah, so with only 2 phones, we can scan entire Marina Bay area like this in Singapore. We are sweet spot between existing solution and new technology, right? We offer 5 times more accurate than GPS, while being 10 times more cheaper than LiDAR scan. So it's a global opportunity because 80% of the buildings worldwide have to be mapped, yes. So this is our big potential here. And yeah, we use our Vision AI 3D mapping to do indoor navigation, to do AR navigation. Yeah, why not rely on the physical billboard or digital kiosk? We attach the navigation to the user phone and navigate them at precisely as a centimeter level. This is example that
doing the navigation, yeah, for Thai department store and Singapore. Yeah, so now we have a customer in East Asia and Southeast Asia. Yeah, while we navigate people, we can show advertising like Starbucks advertising here. Yeah, that's also possible. Yeah, the building owner can get back the physical information that they couldn't be tracked before. Yeah, because if they want to track this, they have to install so many AI CCTV, yeah, across department store, but we can track the information same like that also. And we have so many use cases. That's why we can apply to so many sectors, not just in department store, but we can apply to the event space like convention center, yeah, or industrial space or tourism. And even in Southeast Asia, we have $6 billion in the market size. Yeah, and our business model is simple. We're starting with $499 per month per end user of the building. Yeah, and this is our client so far. We have partners and clients from Japan, Thailand, yeah, to Singapore and Indonesia. So this is our team. We have built this in 3 years now. So our team came from well-known universities like University of Tokyo and well-known corporate like Agoda and Kone. Yeah, and we are looking for the partner and client, yeah, across the globe. Yeah, and the investor in Cifer also. Thank you for listening. And if you have any question, you can ask me.
If you didn't hear it, you got a lot of applause for it. I happen to know that you're already in a conversation with a pretty cool innovation house in Stockholm, but more to come. Some questions from the investors.
Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think it was really interesting, and I think everyone can relate to how annoying it is to looking for that toilet in your example. And I also know that we have stores in the Westfield, shopping malls in Paris and here in Stockholm. And I know that they are absolutely want everyone to dig into their application, for example. So they really want to build that. So is this something that you can add in other infrastructure, or is it your own app you need to download, or how does it work technically?
Sure. Okay. We didn't build a new application. Our AI and our navigation is just the part of the existing app. Yeah, we can integrate our navigation experience, yeah, to their existing application. Or if they didn't have the app, we can build them for you also. Yeah. So yeah, we're not the new app called Graffiti. Yeah. We just act to be the backend and infrastructure of the existing app instead. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a very interesting solution. I would like to know about your price tier of $499 and like what does that include for the customers?
Okay. Actually, for $499, we didn't limit square meters or the area that shopping mall can scan, but we will charge additional if the navigation usage is exceed than our limit here. So we also have the pricing table that show in our website. Yeah, and we will charge additional per usage if the usage at the end of the month, yeah, exceed than around 100,000, yeah, usages.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bank. Do you have a quick question, Daniel? Otherwise, we need to move on.
I was just curious on the technology. I love the Marina Bay Sands the image, very complex. So I was just wondering, how did you use drones or users, individuals, how many phones or how many apps are a lot active? I was just curious because well done.
Yeah. Do you believe that we use only 2 people and 2 mobile phones, yeah, to walk around this Marina Bay? Like we walk around almost 2 hours. Yeah, we walk and why open our phone, and yeah, we have the app to scan, so it's just the video record. Yeah, we start record and we walk around 2 hours and we upload the scanning data from the app to our AI server, and then our AI server try to construct the 3D point, yeah, from scanning on the mobile phone, and this is the result, yeah, from only 2 people and 2 mobile phones.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Bank. A warm applause for.
Yeah, thank you.
We're back to live on stage here in Stockholm. Lucas is taking the back end here. But meanwhile, I will ask all of you to give a warm applause for founder and CEO Miranda. Really challenging AI technology with amazing solutions, and where cybersecurity is, of course, one big chunk of that one. So, with great pleasure, the stage is yours, Team Cifer. I seem to always have the mic in the wrong place.
Hi, I'm Mira from Cifer. Let's talk about the dark side of AI. Over the past 10 years, I and my team, over the past 10 years, I and my team as AI engineer and cybersecurity teams, we've seen something that most people don't realize about AI. 2 big issues in AI right now. 1, privacy issues. 2, security. And you know why this happened? Let's take a look at this number. 74% of the company last year faced security breaches, and the number is expected to rise up to 93% this year, because most companies, they don't have enough people, they don't want to put money on it, and they don't want to slow down the production. And it's really upsetting me, because they're supposed to protect our data, not exposing it. That's why we built Cifer, to empower AI engineers to build secure and private AI in just 1 line of code. It looked like this. Boom. For engineer, this is huge. But what if I have something much better today? Shall we build AI together? Yeah, good. I create projects like this. And then I use Watson-based models, encrypt the data. I get you on board. I have Stephen Elon here. And then I put the data training. You get a beautiful visualize here. And that's it. All done. All in one unified workspace. Because this is a Cifer workspace, the next generation of how you build AI for secure, private, and collaborative. What does it mean for you and the society? Take a look at this. We save this information and we change into the encrypted. For protection, but still able to train AI's model. And this, it happened in days, not months. And it's free because we are open source. So you can find us in GitHub, PyPy, and Hugging Face. We also work with MIT and Cifer to push privacy preserving machine learning through the market and through research. In 7 months, we have 30,000 installers across 45 countries. That says something about our work, right? We open source, but not forever. As we scale, we apply subscription models at a growth stage. The more you pay, the more features you can use. We estimate in 5 years from 20 million revenue. To make this happen, we raising 4 million at the valuation cap at 40 million. If you are open source VC who shares the same vision and believe in privacy in AI, now it's time to talk. This is beyond innovation. This is the next paradigm shift of how we build and trust AI. Thank you.
Now that was right on time. You're at the big stage. Even though your presentation was really clear, I'm sure they have a few questions. So you start, Arnold.
Very well presented and almost answered all questions. I'm just curious to know that from the existing customer base or the companies that they installed and tried, I mean, what type of pattern have you understood and which industry are the most end users or target users?
Okay. Should I just?
It's a sharing economy.
Which I love it, sustainable. Okay, so let's start with school and university, especially the PhD researcher, because we want to grow in the long term. We believe that if we train with them, right now they're in a school PhD scientists, and the next couple of years they need maybe employee at Apple, Google. That's why we want to train with them. And they love to use it with robust application. It means they want to have diverse data sets. In reality, it's difficult to collect all the data because of the privacy, right? But if we have some very concentrated data, it becomes biased because we have all sets of data, and that's not working. So it's really good to apply with finance, fraud detections, healthcare, pharmaceutical, and transportations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, just great presentation. I think it's definitely the right timing. We know there's a huge AI worry building on the AI hype. So, it's perfect timing. Great presentation. So, the best of luck. Just let us know what you need from the panel.
Let's look at you guys.
I'm going to copycat you, Miranda, at some point to a presentation so crystal clear that you can just make the Q&A obsolete. I love it. We are actually, believe it or not, we're heading up for the final presentation. And it's time to start using the stars to guide you to become the best version of yourself. It's with great pleasure I invite my dear tennis friend, Nod, from Ultimate Destiny to take the stage. The stage is yours.
Okay. Do you believe in destiny? Anyone? One or a lot of believer. So whether you are a true believer or you're curious, your destiny is AI power astrology platform that will help you from curious to be motivated, your like a positive power. So we want to improve people's life to a better version of you. So now people seek for connection and clarity for their life, like not reliable, not accessible to the consultant, this consultant, or this time. So we will do anytime, anywhere, 24 hours, 7 days for everyone who can access by one click for this platform. So nowadays it's worth about $20 billion in the market. And now in Thai statistic, about 70% we are doing astrology for daily work. And this is our offer. So we have an AI face reading assist, like know your hidden trade, as auspicious wallpaper and auspicious numbers. And this is how we work. Choose the service by go down and log in and consent and put your name, date of birth, and scan your face, and AI will generate your tips for you. And you can buy other service and you can share it with your friends. And our business model is B2C, one subscription, and also corporate engagement things, and also face reading, like a personal reading also. So now we have 300 plus traction for the users, and we start from Japan. So now we have Thailand and Japan, and so we have media coverage in both countries. And now agent cannot move without fuel. So now we are seeking for 100K USD for 10% equity, and we want for marketing expense, develop product or validation, project global market, and also strategic partnership here. So your destiny is not just a predictive. We do a connection to make everyone feel better and getting better. And this is my business partner, Marcellus, who help me create this one. So we want to be real company beside you. And okay, that's it for me. But last but not least, so today I have a gift for you guys. Maybe you three of you first. I have a daily mood card for you, daily mood card for you, and everyone can get this in the box. I will get I can get with me also. This is sponsored by the Epicenter from Togi. Also, just one. Each one. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Noam, a quick final Q&A before lunch, but speaking of lunch, that is a conversation starter for sure. Who wants to go first?
So I was just busy reading my, it's very, very confusing. Sorry, maybe the part that I don't understand is like after, let's say, the product for face scanning, like what will be the result generated? What is it that you are operating?
So now we use the Chinese metaphysics, like basically that they have a 2,000 years ago that the emperor chose the soldier from that. So AI will recognize your face and get a tip to you. What is your bad? No, sorry. What is your like a guide? What is you have to do? You have to avoid what you have to do. There is that and tips for you, something like that.
Depending on the scan.
Yes, scan the face.
So what does it see in the scan, basically?
Like forehead, your forehead. What is the type of your forehead? Like the type of your eyebrow, like the shape of your face. So, we use this. Master this will train the AI, and I will generate the consulting.
Okay.
Interesting question from the side here. Well, if you scan me now or the 25 years young naive guy, would I get the same type of recommendations?
Yes, because we use the data firm also, not only face. So maybe something change, but it depends on your mind also. Yeah, some may change. Yeah, on the data.
One final question from the panel.
I think this, this can be huge in certain countries. Of course, you need to trust the Chinese face science first to do this. But I think, being about in Asia, you definitely believe in this type of science and symbolism. So I think it's brilliant. And once again, the big question is going to be how can you reach, the market fastest? Because I assume there's multiple tools right now, simpler, of course, like a horoscope or in a newspaper, all the way to your app. And I think that's maybe the big challenge is how can it be on everybody's radar as soon as possible? Because as a service, people use face recognition analysis a lot. They pay quite a lot more money than you are charging. So your fee is volume. And once again, trust. Why would they trust your app versus a Chinese medicine person in Chinatown where you might go? Yeah.
Okay. So, like you can tell, we are not killing like a doctor. We are like an engaged, like help them be in like a lifestyle break.
Yeah.
So what we do is now we do a first phase, so we just see first. But now we also working with many corporate in Thai. So we have a plan for them that they need some engagement, they need some communication, some vision that manager want to really communicate with the employees. So we try to solve that. We will develop this tools to be the tools for HR for the company. This is our plan. Yes.
So you use Chinese astrology or face recognition to mix better teams in the company.
Yes, it's like ice breaking or engagement.
In Sweden, we have the 4 colors, which everybody's laughing at, which is not science either.
This kind of thing, like
that's a huge industry.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Noam. And so that was the last pitch. I'm amazed that it's still energy in this room because we've been here for quite a while now. But the energy also comes from the pitching team. So once again, thank you to all our superheroes pitching Thank you to our dear investor panel. Thanks to everyone in the audience for being still awake and active and energetic. We have one last offer before we end things up, and that is to all you startups. Today is the final day, formally the final day of the program. We'll move on to a graduation ceremony after lunch. But that does not end your relationship with neither Epicenter in general, nor Edgar, myself, or any other coaches that you've been involved in. You will always be a part of our alumni network. You will always have a home in Stockholm when you come back to continue to do business and grow your businesses. So whenever and however, just ping us and we'll have our doors open for you to come back. Don't forget that. So it's time for lunch. We have the conversation starters already out there, and we're super happy to serve you, of course, Thai delicious Thai food, selected by our own Thai superstar. And I mentioned a few people earlier that have contributed a lot to the project, and we have one more that I really want to highlight. Many of the things in this program have not been able to be fulfilled if it wasn't for our own superstar. So give it up for Unidrac. Not only supporting a few of the teams directly, fixing study visits to King and everything else, also handpicking the best Thai food around. I think we're serving some Thai basil chicken of some kind and maybe a pad Thai with shrimps and a vegetarian version.
Yeah, it's more like sorry.
I was wrong as always.
I go crazy. No, you didn't. You're not wrong. But I go crazy with Thai food because in our Thai culture, we connect, we socialize through food. So today, the focus is street food delight from Thailand. So you will find Tham Yam Mu Ping, which is yeah, I say so. You say no. So it's like grilled pork with stick rice, and then we have pad Thai, of course, your choice, with shrimp, and then with tofu, and then we have pad Pao, which is Thai basil root with chicken, and then we have man paka, which is like a traditional Thai fish cake with red curry. Did I miss something? No, that's it. Have a great lunch. See you outside.
Thank you, Fuki. Thank you, everyone. See you outside. Keep the conversation going.
One more thing, Jack. One more thing. The Thai companies, listen guys, the Thai companies, you need to talk to Vera before you leave. So you're going to be a bill.
Yeah, and one final thing. At 1 o'clock, we'll be having the ceremony at the Accelerate corner for all startups and all Thai stakeholders. Welcome at 1. Now lunch.
W sample for training.
So startups,
Are we missing a startup? Is that one?
So is everyone here? Oh, Team Pro there. Hey guys. Oh.
Hurry. Pat.
Okay. Either. Varom en tema. Vi kan ta en utan och en med. Det här är en utan.
Say Epicenter.
Som en till.
Perfect. Then we can say Epicenter one more time.
Oh, with this
Perfect. I think we got it.
Let's see. I have no idea if we have anyone still attending online, but if you are, thanks for tuning in. See you the next time we do a pitch night. Hopefully you'll be able to join us physically then, because now we're going to get some fantastic Thai food. See you next time. Cheers.